really starting to figure out how much I enjoy teaching. I know that an ex of mine, come back! An ex of mine used to really appreciate how I would just like take the time to explain things, and it's something that I didn't do it for her, bitch. I didn't do it for her. I did it just because I enjoyed it. I usually take my mom aside, and she's really good at just, I'm sure she doesn't give two fucks about what I'm talking about, but she like acts like she's interested. So it's one of those things that makes me happy. I enjoy. I really feel like I could teach calculus to a monkey, and I don't know calculus, and I can't talk to monkeys, but I'm pretty sure I could do it. I could teach a bullfrog how to jump rope. I'm pretty sure of it. But so I wanted to get on here to show a little teaching spot. I know in the last video we talked about when dents happen, they kind of create a high spot. This dent it's probably good enough to put one pin in the center. When I'm talking about a pin, I'm talking about these, because I talk like, I mean, I know I said these are for myself, but they're slowly turning not to be. So when I'm talking about pins, I'm talking about these little, they look copper, but I'm pretty sure it's just a coating on steel. You'll grind an area down. So this is an area that I've already used pins on. So you'll grind the area down to where, I guess it should help to show the gun. So this will slide in here like so. This will press in. This ring right here will contact the metal surrounding and act as a ground. So you have to kind of, even though I may just want to do a little prick here in the middle, I've got to kind of grind around the area so the outer ring can make a ground. So I will put a pin here in the middle. This will be bare metal. Pin here in the lowest point of the dent. Pull it out slightly. And now when I'm doing that, when I'm pulling outwards on the pin with either a pair of pliers or the slide hammer that it comes with, I will tap with my hammer. I will tap this high spot down. And I call this a high spot. You're like, Grant, how do you know it's a high spot? Well, I've been sanding this area with the DA, and it's flat, 6 inches. So as it's going around, it's going to show me the high and the low spots. Obviously, the sandpaper is going to touch the highest point first. So the highest point is going to get to metal the fastest, as we see here. The spots that are still dark is still the original color of the car and the old clear coat. So that means that the sandpaper has not gotten to this area yet. So when the sandpaper is on there, it really probably makes more sense. Well, I mean, it'll make sense either way I describe it because I'm the shit. But so when you're blocking it, the block will come across. Now, this is kind of what I was talking about in the last video about the block has give to it, the panel has give to it. You're going to still get scratch marks even in the lowest point. But the brute of the marks are going to hit the highest ports first and barely scratch. That's why that's still dark in there, because the sandpaper can't quite touch it. So that shows what's low. The bare metal shows what's high. So when pulling out the low areas, we also want to tap down at the same time the high areas. Because if we leave the high areas at where they are, and I tried to wipe over this, I have to now bring essentially, because you're smoothing it out over such a big area, the eye is not really going to catch it once paint's on it. But if I was to leave this high point high, I would have to bring the body with body filler, which you don't really want to use if you can help it. I would have to bring the body filler all the way out here to make all this area the same height as this high point. When in actuality, I need to tap this high point down to match the rest of the fender. And then I either don't have to wipe or I don't have to wipe it as heavy. And that's always the goal. You don't want to load these. I mean, obviously I could just just from the jump, when I first got this car, I could go buy $150 worth of Bondo from Home Depot and just leave everything where it's at and just wipe it. But that's not what you want to do. It's going to be, the thicker it is, the more prone it is going to be cracking later on, and then you got to repaint the car. And once it's cracked, you got to sand out all the cracked Bondo and then reapply the Bondo, and you're kind of back to square one. Obviously, you don't want to have to do that every year or two. So you try to wipe as little as you can. But I just wanted to get on here to show that. Obviously, this is another one of the things. It's like, you can see once I'm sanding this area, this part started breaking through to the metal. That's probably the E-coat from the factory. But the metal's starting to poke through like this right here. So you got kind of the three colors. You've got the original with clear coat still on it. You've got the base red, and then you've got this E-coat. So this area is low. This area is obviously low. So I'll pin this, pull it out, tap down around here, pin here, pull it out, tap down around there. This right here, I've already blocked it. I mean, hammered and dollied it a little bit. It can take a little bit more. It's in a good bit, so I don't want to wipe that deep. It's a $40 fender on a $500 car, so it probably would have been best to just replace this fender from the jump, but the fender to door gap is really good. The fender to the bumper gap was really good. The fender to hood gap was really good. So again, easy dents don't make good body men, so I'll take all the practice I can get. I know I said I would have had that one wiped last video, and obviously I'm a piece of shit liar, but I got this blocked down even more. The rest of the areas, I know how we said we needed to stay off this, but this and this could have some more blocking. That got blocked. It feels good. Really, I could primer over that because I stopped right here, and that's not far from where it needed to be. I could probably primer over that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do one little skim coat of glaze. That needs to be wiped in this little section right here. Got this ground down a little bit more, pulled out a little bit more. That's ready to wipe. This rocker panel is just gross, man. I really could slap the guy who picked this thing up with a bulldozer. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't know, but I got work to do. That was a teaching moment. 8 minutes. Peace.